Service has been really important in my life, not just as a way that I've been transformed by the people that I've met, but service is also something that really shows me that we're meant for community. Humans are meant for community. We're meant to journey alongside each other. And so not just thinking about service as that role and that relationship between the giver and the recipient, but as this relationship between equals, because there's always going to be a time that we need that help too. I started doing work around poverty and homelessness when I was a college student. And in my city, I started working on the streets. People struggling with homelessness, without housing, in tent cities and slums, and became friends with them. They became not just people that I was there to serve, but people who are teaching me not only about the conditions in our own society, but also about God and about faith. And so I really started journeying alongside folks and realizing that service is really beautiful, and I think Jesus calls us to serve, right? Jesus was about serving, about washing feet, about giving food, but Jesus was also about bringing the kingdom of God to the here and now, where we're living in community, we're practicing love and hospitality. I think we have a lot to learn from the people we set out to serve. A lot of times we think when we go to serve somebody, we take God to them, we take God to the margins in these mission trips and the service projects, and maybe there's some truth in that, but what I've found is that God is already there and at work, and when we go, we join in God's work. Where do we find Christ? We find Christ in the stranger. We find Christ in the outcast. We find Christ in the person who's incredibly different from us. As Christians, we're not called to be comfortable, we're called to be faithful. And being faithful in this day and age demands a lot of courage from us. We're called to serve our neighbors, but we're also called to be in solidarity with them. We're called to participate in acts of charity that are meeting immediate needs, but not to leave it at that. Because right now in our world where there's so much injustice, we're not just called to charity, we're called to change. To live out the kingdom of God in the here and now through love and inclusion and hospitality and justice. And I pray that we have the courage to do that.